In all your glee of publishing a book, you have taken a week off of checking your metrics to just see how many sales roll in and get that special surprise at the end of your 7-day period. You get on, you check it, and nothing. Why didn't you sell your book? Attack on Table. Welcome to Attack on Table, where Ryan and I drop any and all illusions that we care about each other and talk about the finer details of the writing process.
Yeah, and if you guys care more about us being professional and not cracking jokes at each other, check out our other videos on our channel where we interview authors and storytellers about their works and help them promote their stuff. Keep us in mind when you guys are looking for what you want to read next. And if you guys like our channel and you want to help support it, strike the like.
And Semper Scribe, we are joined this evening by Trulee Thompson, who was so kind to come on our second episode of Dear Duncan. Haven't had any brave souls step up for a third just yet, but I'm sure you're out there somewhere. And we wanted to invite Trulee back to talk about how, since she decided to self-publish her book and seems to be very aggressively pursuing a few ways of promoting, we brought her on for Ryan.
That is one hell of a lead up there, Sean.
I don't know if I like the word aggressive.
We're talking about book marketing, what works and what doesn't, as well as anyone can tell. So I guess that's what Sean meant, not by bringing her on to specifically talk to me.
I'm so excited for you two to talk to each other.
I was just so sad he missed out live last time.
Yeah. Ryan has a few things to say. Just do it quick, Ryan.
All right. So for those of anyone that doesn't know, when Trulee was on last time, and Sean's so gleeful about this, as they ended and cut off the recording, she just mentioned to Sean that she was so glad that she didn't have to talk to me because I'm so long-winded. And Sean almost exploded with glee from that statement, but then realized that it wasn't recorded, and she's back on to talk to me now.
I did not say I was glad to not talk to you. We were talking about who was going to interview me, and Sean said you all were fighting over it. And then I said, well, Ryan is a little long-winded.
It was your word against mine, and now it's both of our words, and against Ryan's feelings.
Well, I can't. I mean, I'm not going to defend myself against something that is indefensible. I am.
Wrap it up, Ryan.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. But we're talking about book marketing today, not me and my long choice of words.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Dead silence was a great response. No wonder I'm talking.
I wanted to sit there and let that marinate for a second.
In the gaps.
I love it. But Ryan, what are some of the things that you have tried when you had just put out In Pursuit of Death?
I mean, I think being very new to marketing myself, I think I was just going with direct access, trying to interact with readers directly as possible through my social medias and things of that nature. I didn't really have anything that I felt like I could offer community-wise. I've heard people use email chains and stuff like that. I've never dabbled in that stuff, so I didn't really know. So mine was very much upfront and personal. I was creating my own materials, doing stuff like that.
Okay. Truly. I've noticed you on Instagram a lot ever since we start Fitz of Writing and your own author page started following each other. You seem to be pumping out reels left and right, front, center, upside down and backwards. And well, I mean, I wanted to know when exactly did you put out Wick?
Okay, so it actually just published June 1st, so this past Monday.
Hey,
Okay.
Yeah,
excellent.
it's been a week.
So you've basically just been going over a whole bunch of marketing and everything, just trying to build the excitement for it before it was even out, right?
Yes, so since December, I really dove in probably for like an entire month on how to market because like I had an Instagram and a Facebook, but like it was just friends and family. So I actually made a lot of people mad. I removed everyone from my friends and family list except for my mom. She's my number one supporter. But so it was basically just like starting fresh with an account that already had my name on it. And I basically over that month I was on Pinterest, I was on Instagram, I was on all of these different articles, I was in people's accounts on Instagram looking at what is working for them and what can I take away for me. Because I do have 4 kids, full-time job. I don't have time to just dedicate hours upon hours every day to posting on social media.
Sure.
And it does, I mean, it takes longer in the beginning. And once you kind of get in the groove of things, it does get faster each day. But so I kind of took bits and pieces from people's accounts that I thought I could vibe with and be comfortable with. And then have just progressively started attacking marketing.
Okay.
So can I ask, what was there a value to keeping your initial account and just like stripping out the friends and family and then continuing from that? Because when I first started, I just created a whole new like business page for my author name.
In my mind, the only reason I really did it, my husband does not have social media at all. And like one of the things we do when the kids go to sleep is we'll lay in bed and like I send myself reels that I think are funny. And then we'll watch them together like later that night. So a lot of my account is yes, like his workout stuff because he's big in the gym, not me. But then like a lot of reader talk is that's what it's called. But a lot of like reels that I wanted him to be like, get interested in this because he's not a reader. If you ever buy my book, the dedication is made out to him because he's on chapter 2 and has been for like 6 months. So that was really the only reason is just because like the algorithm, you'll hear me talk about that probably a lot. I hate the algorithm, but that's fine. My algorithm was already set up to be the majority of like authors, readers, writers. So just because I was already in that, that's why I just removed everybody and then just started doing my own thing.
That makes sense.
Yeah. That rather than like have to build it back up from scratch.
Mm-hmm.
When you said that you looked around at a whole bunch of like other people who were in sort of the book sphere, you said you saw like what did and didn't work. What was your defining like idea of something? Was it like the amount of views that videos got, or was it something that you noticed that they kept doing, so it must have been working for them? What made you?
A little bit of both. The first thing I really wanted to look at, I didn't really care about views or really even likes. It was interactivity, so comments, shares, people like posting to their story and being like, oh my gosh, look at this. That was the first thing that jumped out to me. And where I was such a small account, and I mean I still would not, it's still pretty small, that is like to me the one thing that would help push it in the right direction was the more people that saw it, and not just like saw it and like haha okay scroll, but like actually were engaged, commenting, wanted to follow the content, my account, wanted to see more. That was just kind of my focus in the beginning, and really it's still my focus now.
Right.
Some things that didn't work. So a lot of accounts that I follow or saw where people would just like get on there and do like book reviews or talk about their book, and they got really long-winded, and they were at least 30 seconds or longer, and that's when I was like, I don't have time for this. Like I know they edited the crap out of that, and that was probably like an hour of them talking just like shrunk down. So I, in the beginning, really focused on what is Instagram pushing out. So the algorithm months ago, and it changes month by month basis, but months ago, it was like 6 seconds or under. So that was where my main focus was, okay, what do I need to say? And I have to do it in 6 seconds. Now it's a little bit longer because my account has a little bit more of a following. So now I'm at like 12 seconds, which is still really quick. But those were some of the things that I knew, number one, I wouldn't have time for. And number two, I didn't think was going to hit in the beginning, because if you don't know me, you're not going to sit here and listen to me talk for an hour.
Sure.
Yeah, that's actually something that mirrors like what Sean and I are experiencing just with the channel. Like we're definitely having a lot more viewership of the shorts than our full
Yes.
episodes.
So I don't know if y'all remember this, but my husband does a podcast. It's paranormal. They
Yeah.
like to talk about Bigfoot and aliens, and like their podcasts that they post. No offense to them, but they're like an hour and a half long. I have never once sat and watched an entire episode because it is, oh my gosh. So that's something I've been suggesting to them is like at least cut it to be 30 minutes or less. Because my husband, he's a big Star Wars fan. He'll watch some podcasts all of the time. But I think an hour and a half of just chit chatting is a little too long.
Yeah, I think that if you're going to have any kind of platform at all, I think you have to. I think that the way things are today, you have to be able to offer both short and long term or form content for people.
So I think a good strategy in that is to try, like, if you're going to do long form, that's fine, but you have to try to find a way to master that short attention span that we're all kind of swimming in.
Apparently now humans have the attention span of like 6 seconds, and goldfish have the attention span of 8 seconds. So we are less than goldfish.
It's not good.
Humans, we are the best. This podcast historically pro-human.
So, well, Truly, do you have any kind of like an email list, or have you paid for ads or anything like that and noticed any kind of a good outcome?
Okay, so if you remember the last time we were talking about my email list, and I said I had 2 subscribers, and one of them was my mom. So now it is up to 78. And I have people from 12 different countries, which to me, like the broader the reach, especially since I'm indie and like everything falls on my shoulders, a broader reach is like what I'm going for with that email list. So I feel like that has been really successful. I only send out a newsletter maybe once a week. This week was launch week, so I did not get an email sent out, so it might be bi-weekly.
Okay.
But that's worked pretty well. I mean, I think 78 people who don't know me and want to get emails from me is good.
I think one key fact that you've mentioned in this that I think a lot of people might miss is you essentially took what, like 5 months before releasing to promote.
I started in January, and at first it was really, and I actually want to talk about this, so this is a good segue. At first it was really like book heavy. I was only talking about my book, and I was like, this is so awesome, everyone's gonna love it. Well, no one loved it. So yeah, that was just not what it needed. So one thing that I read was someone said, find your niche, and I was like, okay, duh, YA fantasy, like that's what I write. That's not what they meant. You don't want, especially like on Instagram, there are thousands upon thousands of accounts that are so similar. So if someone gets on there, they compare like 10 different accounts. And I mean, I did the same thing. And every single account has like mood boards or character art or cover reveals or look at this quote from chapter 37. That's fantastic. But if I look at 10 of those in a row, I don't remember what goes to what. Like, I don't remember which account is for which author. So something I wanted to do was narrow down, how do I set myself apart? Because yes, I'm a writer, obviously. I want to sell my book, but I'm also a teacher. So I kind of combine the two, and that's where I've really been heavily focusing lately on is, I call them like hacks, but they're really like tips and tricks of writing. And it's basically like world building tips, or how I name fantasy weapons, how I name places, how I name characters. And it's just small things that like I have done, and they fit in the 12-second reel format that I've been working with. And I think that has really helped grow my audience, because now I'm not only targeting readers, I'm also targeting writers, authors, and I've actually lately gotten a lot of gamers because they're DMs. So I think that has helped. Yes, obviously, I still want to promote my book. I do about a post a week on, hey, look at this. And it never does well, but it makes me feel good. But everything else, and it's not that it's like completely separate, because every single thing that I'm talking about, I've done. And I use that in my writing. So even though it's not me, hey, look at this book that I wrote, you should buy it right now, it still all relates back to, I am a writer. If you like this type of style, maybe you should try out my book.
Yeah, so part of what we've been trying to figure out is how to kind of get a response like that from viewers for the authors that we host, and try to figure out how to structure our videos in such a way that it will appeal to both authors and readers separately, but together. And it sounds like you've stuck your face far deeper into Instagram, into the bowels of social media.
Yes, and I will be the first to say that I hate social media. I despise it. I wish there was a better way for me to market it, but I'm not a millionaire, so I cannot do that. So I mean, it works. You have to put in the time. You have to do the research. You have to like just find what clicks for you. I mean, there was probably a solid month where I was getting like 2 likes per post, and I was just, posting shit over and over and over just to see what clicked. And then finally, when I like found that out, that like, oh, people actually like how I named this character 7 years ago, then that's when I started to expand and explore upon that, and I think it's worked out pretty well.
Well, I have a question for both of you. Sean and I get a lot of these emails requesting like the creation of book trailers, and I've never dabbled in that. I don't know anything about them really, but have you guys like ever felt like maybe doing a book trailer might be a good form of marketing for you?
Truly made one. We put it at the beginning of her Dear Duncan, but good job watching.
Yes, I did make one, and that was when, that was structured in the beginning when I was just like, here's my book, here's my book, here's my book, and it did not do well. So I'm really trying to focus right now on this year is like reaching as many people as possible who are interested in fantasy and writing and reading and blah, blah, blah. And then I will kind of start to integrate that a little bit more, because then I feel like if people follow me and they want to see my content, then they want to see like what I have actually created. But in the beginning, when they don't know me, they don't know what I'm talking about, they don't know my account, then they don't really care. So I would say like after you grow a pretty strong following, and strong is the keyword there, like it's people who are very active with your account. It's not just they follow you and then 1 week later they unfollow you because they think you're boring now. They are like commenting on your reels, they're liking, they're sharing, they're posting to their story, they're interacting with your DMs, like they're sending you personal messages. Then I feel like those people are the ones you need to focus on.
And do you feel like that's because like that kind of stuff feels thirsty at the beginning, where you're just like, read my book, here's my book, instead of like...
And also I read the statistic which blows my mind. There are 4,000 books published a day in the world. That's a lot. So that's a lot of people who are talking about the exact same thing. And one thing that like kind of kills me as a reader, because I am a avid reader, like at least 300 books a year. It makes me really sad, because like this book is indie and I know it's good because I wrote it. That's not me being like, I know it's good. I've gotten really good feedback from people who are not my mom, and they really like it, and they are also avid readers, and they're not like super close friends. Like I would trust them to tell me like this is garbage. Where's I going with this? Oh my gosh. Oh. See, you got me all off. Anyway, so like it kills me that there are books out there that could be as good, if not better, as these like, you know, ACOTAR, Fourth Wing, and those are like the people that you want to reach. I was going with this whole but yeah.
But you think that just like a high level of engagement with the posts that you make is the telltale sign that what you're doing is working and reaching people and will ultimately lead to a percentage of sales. I mean, your book came out 5 days ago, so you probably don't have a really good metric for how that's working for you so far, right? Or you tell me.
I can pull up Amazon and I'll tell you the report.
I'm not going to make you share that with everybody. I'm just saying.
No, I don't care. Okay, so since Monday, I have sold 9 books on Amazon, and then I have 409 pages read on Kindle Unlimited.
How long is the book?
I mean, that's...
How many pages?
I honestly don't even know. Hang on, I'll grab it.
Not that I don't know if you let it out, but I mean,
I cannot tell you the page count. 468 pages.
Okay, so almost the whole book.
Yeah, yeah.
Once.
It's not super short, but it's also not beefy. So
Sure.
I felt like for a first week, that was pretty good sales. And a lot of those, like you can check the metrics on Amazon. Like one person is in England and they bought my book, and you know,
right.
probably never meet them. So I feel like that reach has come from my newsletter and social media, which is good.
And as long as all of those things are growing, you're going to stumble across people who want to. They like your content, and they're like, I wonder if she is a good writer. Everybody else said that. You just didn't fall into that trap where everybody spends their first year after self-publishing, where they are in an echo chamber of author groups, being like, buy my book. No, you buy my book. We'll buy each other's book and then review it. And then somebody comments, you can't do that. Blah, 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 and everything. It just turns into a bunch of static and painfully unsuccessful noise.
I'm in a lot of those groups on Facebook, and mostly I just like to read through the comments because I like drama. I don't like to be involved in it, but I like to read through it. And oh my gosh, they rip each other apart.
They hate each other. It's not a nice place to hang out.
So bad. Like, I would never post anything just because of that. Actually, I lied. I posted one time, and this goes to show you why I don't get involved. I posted something, and I asked them, I said, I have my first author con that I'm signed up for. And this is the exact words I will. My husband is letting me buy a lot of copies. Do you all prefer hardback or paperback from an unknown author? Well, no one, maybe 3 people answered the question. Everyone else was like, your husband's letting you? Oh, sweetie, you're in a marriage. This is a trap.
Oh, Jesus. Wow.
Legitimately, it was over 300 comments, and I was just like, I just need you to answer the freaking question of if you like paperback or hardback.
No, you need to be saved.
Gosh, and
man, I would have doubled down on that. So I was he said if I make 6 sandwiches a day, that I can.
I totally got on there, and I was like, I'm sorry that you all are in an unhappy marriage and okay with hiding thousands of dollars from your spouse, but that's not me. And some lady was like, you're a writer and you're trying to publish a book, and you know the power of words. You need to change this. And I said, no, he is letting me. He is letting me. I was like, it was a joint decision, and they could not get past it. But see, that's why I don't get involved in those groups, because they don't like each other.
They're fun to watch out in. We've been accused of, and we use some AI, I think the words were AI slop.
Yep, that's the AI slop is going, oh my gosh. Yep.
For a video we had that was, there was a touch of AI music in there, but the rest of it was the an image made by an actual artist, narrated by an actual dude, text added by actual me, and written by actually Ryan. And it was only 3.5 minutes long.
If your cover's AI, then the whole book is AI. That's what everyone's going to assume.
Well, so what's crazy is what Sean's talking about is one of the telletales we did. And so when I first started my journey, I started as an outreach to the community. I was doing these telletales, and so I wrote the specific one that we recreated and posted. I wrote that 5 years ago. Okay. And this guy's just like, this is AI slop. And I go, it's not. You can check out my personal page where I first originally posted it. And he's just like, can you prove it? And I'm like, what? What do you...
Actually, I can prove it.
Are you going to buy my book if I do? What is the purpose of this? God.
No, AI is crazy right now. And I am not an AI user. I feel like I'm too old to learn all of that.
What do you guys feel like is the most overrated marketing advice out there?
I would have said news or email lists, but I don't think I feel that way anymore. But that was all I had to say. Paying for ads, that didn't work for me either. So
I've tried a few times, and it did reach new accounts for my ads, but again, those were my book specific ones, so I was trying to target more people who didn't know my account. I would say the most overrated thing, so someone told me, they didn't tell me, I was watching it. They told me through the screen, they were not speaking directly to me, that the more you post, the better chance you have of reaching a bigger audience. And yes, while I agree to that to an extent, because I post almost daily, I feel like the content that you put out makes a difference. If I am putting out just absolute crap about my book every single day, it doesn't matter if I have 30 reels this month if nobody is watching them. So I would rather take a solid week and post, little things here and there that I know reach my audience, but then center on that reel and then post it later and have a bigger reach and a bigger reaction from the audience. So I would definitely say that like you don't have to post every day. I do think you need to be active on social media every day if you're going to be serious about it. Like, you want people to interact with your account, you also need to interact with their accounts. And also, like, they have followers that don't follow you, so that also helps your reach and expansion through the socials.
Like shares and things like that, or
Mhm.
friends of friends
so like if
seeing.
I comment on, okay, really good example here. So this guy, I'm gonna go get another water. This guy, I was on the like For You page.
We're on the move.
I know. This
We're
guy,
mobile.
I was on the For You page on Instagram, and like I don't know him from Adam, and he had 750 followers, and I remember that because I was 751. And his whole account is I'm reading a word a day until I reach 1,000 followers. So it's a word a day from his book. Well, I had commented on there on one of his reels, and I was like, I absolutely love this. He took my comment and made his next reel, and the word was. So I commented on there was what stellar character development. I got 8 new followers just from that guy's account.
Yeah, I think.
Fact about that guy, this is not relevant, but he had a reel that went viral I think 2 days ago, and it's at like 5 million views, and now he has 24,000 followers.
Oh, nice.
Oh, dang.
I know.
And
I
he
was like,
only
why
gave
do
you
that?
8.
Fine.
Yeah, he only gave you 8. We need to get on
It's
that
fine.
bandwagon.
We need a was.
Yeah,
Mm.
I think if to answer my own question, I think I would kind of put it in the camp of book trailer.
Oh,
I think it's book trailers, not because book trailers don't work, but because they're overly hyped at the stage that is ineffective for you.
and that's
think-
that's a really good point. Like, you can't do it in the beginning. You
Yeah,
have to
I
have
think
like
having that
all of
audience
these big
first.
names, like Cassandra Clare just put out a book trailer for a book that's coming out later this year, and I mean it went huge. Everybody was sharing it. Everybody was like, yeah. She also has like 6 million followers. So, and you know,
Yeah.
she has written almost 30 books. So definitely think it depends on the time at which you are trying to put that out.
That actually brings up a good point, and one of the big pieces of advice is that we're on what we searched and also given to us from relatively prolific writers that we've had on the show so far this season has been get your books out and get a lot of them out. Aaron Ryan is pushing for his 50th before too long, I think he said.
Damn, Ryan, that's awesome.
No, not him.
Aaron.
Oh,
Ryan.
when you said Ryan,
It'll be
I was
50
like,
years
why
before
did I not
he
know
posts
this?
one.
Yeah. I'm an extraordinarily slow writer. He's out there.
It's
He,
okay.
he by the time he initially submitted his application to interview with us, and
Mhm.
the time that we actually interviewed him, he wrote 3 new books.
I'm going
That's
back
good.
in my memory. But he wants to have a wide array of books out there. Some of them are re-releases. Some of them are box sets and
Okay.
things like that. So that might be how he got to 3 in the months between him submitting and him actually
That's
being
amazing. Though.
interviewed.
Like I could never.
And
I'm
it's
too much of a
series.
perfectionist. Like, I have to go over my manuscript like 1,000 times before I even send it to my editor. So
Sure.
Yeah, his advice, and I think it's very sound, is to be like your own enthusiast.
Yeah.
Of your stuff.
yeah,
Yeah,
100%.
That was his big advice for how to be successful at marketing your book and to find interesting and new ways to do it. Like, go to not a, what was it? He would go to a Renaissance fair to sell his sci-fi book. And it worked because people were like, this doesn't belong here. And he'd be like, I know, but.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
get their attention. And I think that that is kind of the same thing as you finding your niche and what you said, and at the same time, like, it doesn't come off salesman-y.
Right. And
Yep.
that's the biggest thing is that, like, you want to feel a connection or have your audience feel a connection to you. You don't want to just be like, oh, I'm only doing this to get your money. And once you buy my book, I no longer care about you.
Yeah.
And that's one thing that I've really not struggled with, but like have been trying to work on is like not only just putting out reels and like putting out content, but actually wanting to teach people. Because I have gotten a lot of good responses of someone and they were like, well, I tried this and this didn't work. So then I was able to go back and be like, okay, what was your process? What was your step? This is where you went wrong, or this is what I would have done differently. And I think that has helped a lot. So I definitely think like connectivity is a big thing. And I like that. Be your own enthusiast. It's good.
I feel like we've probably chewed this as deep as we can go. We could probably talk about it forever because I
have 3 pages of notes written on this, so we could talk about it forever.
And she called me long-winded.
See this? Find your angle.
Oh
Angle,
yeah.
niche, potato.
Yes.
I think ultimately what we're setting on is try a little bit of everything and stick with what is working.
Yeah.
Don't just expect one thing to be your vehicle.
Get the audience you
everyone,
want.
Yeah, everyone has a different thing that they're trying to achieve.
And everybody also has like different strengths. Like,
yeah.
So I think it's definitely important to like play on that. Like, we know you're a good writer. You wouldn't be trying to market this book if you weren't a good writer. What else you got?
I think this is probably a good time to kind of segue. I do have a Dear Duncan I would like Trulee to be a part of.
Yeah.
And contrary to what Sean believes, I'm going to ask this question and all of us get to answer it.
Okay.
All right. Well, hang on one second.
You're on the spot. Okay.
Well,
let's move to our Dear Duncan studio.
Yes. That's what I was going to say, is don't try to start Dear Duncaning while we're still AOTing.
Yeah, and by the power of our
Gray
friends
Skull.
at NJC Printing, Skull and our friends at NJC Printing, we have this nice, lovely new studio in the Dear Duncan nameplates and all that good stuff. Here we ask questions we answer questions the internet asks us, and we try to give as best advice as we can. The only one we have today comes from K. Thompson. It's Dear Duncan, I was approached.
I mean, that is just stellar right there.
That is
Okay.
kind of a surprise,
You guys,
actually.
this must be your husband. I don't know what his name is. Probably starts with a K.
His name's
Kyle.
Brett.
Oh, damn.
Everybody calls him
Miss
Brent.
it by that much.
I was so close. All right, Dear Duncan, I was approached by a company offering publishing services, glowing testimonials, and a quick turnaround, all for a fee. Everything sounds legitimate, but the pressure to decide quickly makes me uneasy. I'm afraid of missing an opportunity, but also of paying for something that delivers very little. How can writers tell the difference between a real opportunity and expensive lessons? K. Thompson. That's open to the floor. Whoever wants to go first.
Go for it, Truly.
Okay, from experience and reading through all of those wonderful writer Facebook groups, publishers will never reach out to you first. Agents, publishers, any kind of marketing company, all scam.
Mm-hmm. I am. Where do you draw that line? What if somebody who is a member of a publishing service, such as like a hybrid publisher, is part of a discussion in the comments somewhere on social media, and you guys just wind up having a conversation, and they're like, well, if you ever want to do something like this, we do offer this service, and blah, 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 blah. And then they leave you alone after that. How fishy does that feel?
I do want to make a note. K, I'm assuming, well, we'll just say K. I don't know if it's a man or a woman. They do specify a company offering publishing services, not a publisher.
Mm-hmm.
So that might make a definite decision in there. I don't know. I would say do your due diligence. Look them up.
Yep.
Yeah, research as much as you can. Like Truly said, kind of go in with the understanding that most of this stuff is probably a scam.
Yeah. The earlier statistic that I said, there's 4,000 books published every single day. Publishers don't need authors. Authors need publishers. So they are not going to actively be searching for new authors because they have so many lined up.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's an excellent, just way to kind of have that mentality right off the get. And maybe you're wrong, and maybe these guys are. offering real services. Yeah, it should happen when maybe if the publisher's super duper small or something, but and be ready for it to be a scam, even if they are using somebody's legitimate logo or anything. We've had that before in our own inbox, just because the scammers can't tell the difference between us and the authors we host.
Yeah, those are great.
We get a lot of those.
Yeah, RM, I saw your book labeled this, the person I just talked to. And I was like, I didn't write that.
Really
Good
easy
try.
way to tell is, number one, look at the email handle. Because most of the time, like, if it's from, I don't know, what's a really major publishing house? Penguin Publishing House. The email will just be like joeschmo@gmail.com. Yeah, it's not coming from them. Another big thing is, like, get on their website. And if I have known one person and someone reached out to them over social media, she had posted a cover of her book. It was a cover reveal. And this publishing company reached out to her and they were like, we love your cover, we're really interested, send us a blurb, if we want your manuscript, we'll get back to you. And that was legit. But she got on their website and, like, the first thing that you saw was, we are actively looking for 1 or 2 authors to work with. So definitely do your due diligence, do some solid research, get in there and figure out, are they a large publishing house? If yes, they are not reaching out to you. If they're smaller or they're hybrid, and hybrid was a good point, they might be, but make sure that you are looking at who works there, what are their names. Their email will be on their website, so then you can cross-reference and check that.
And ask questions. If they're not answering questions about pricing or anything like that, avoid them at all costs. If they can't be upfront to you about, like, how much a thing costs, then you don't need to be bothering.
Yeah, that's a really good point. Also, be like, oh, where did you hear my book? What interested you about it? What first drew you in?
What was
what'd
your
you think
favorite part?
Right.
Yeah.
So, like, definitely, you can definitely follow up with some. I mean, you don't have to get super specific. Like, even say, like, where did you hear my book? Because I'm not on social media.
Yeah.
I don't know if you are.
There's also a lot of tools available for, checking up, like, unreputable sources and, you know, companies with bad reputations. So do that stuff.
My favorite rule of thumb is, if they started with "Hello, great author,"
if they leave the brackets around your name and your book title, that's not a publishing company.
Yeah.
And you know what? I want to pat myself on the back because I don't know what I've done to, like, favor the Google gods, but I have never once gotten a scam email yet.
Give it time.
Really?
Oh, be quiet. I don't want that junk in my email.
Please, Google gods, hit her with every bit of spam that exists.
Ryan's like, only the ones with longer than 5,000 word emails.
Yeah.
Nobody has my, like, author email. I don't give that out to anybody.
Please, Google, find her author.
It's really easy. It's truleywritesthings@gmail.com.
Do you like long-winded authors?
That might be your girl.
All right. I think that's pretty good. Is there you said you just released your book last week. You want to plug it? Let us know where we can find it.
Absolutely. So Wick is a YA fantasy novel. Our main character, his name is Whiston. He's a 17-year-old blacksmith. In the realm that he lives in, if you are born with magic, you are executed. So he wakes up one day when he is 12 and he has flame magic. His entire room is on fire. His parents obviously have to hide him, so he goes to work in the forge to hide the scars, because obviously working with a lot of hot metal, you're going to get scarred. It is the first flame magic seen in the realm in over 200 years, and he's done a really good job of keeping it a secret until he's caught by the captain of the army. So rather than kill him, obviously, because then the story would be over, he is sent to retrieve an ordinary looking stone, and when he finds this rock, he figures out that there is a god inside of it, and the only way to awaken that god is with flame magic. So this book explores his journey through the self-discovery that the fire that runs through his veins is not magic. It is actually a god that is using his body to try and take over the mortal realm. Wick was published June 1st. You can find it on Amazon. It's free on KU. When Barnes & Noble's website starts working again, it will be at Barnes & Noble. And ta-da! That's Wick.
That's Wick. No relation to John.
Make sure you guys go check that out. Support Trulee in her endeavors. one more question, Sean. Hold on, let me pull it up here.
Uh,
How do we end these?
Persuasively.
Ah.